everything you ever did, clean that. Change your ways, don't do it more. Just like that. And the people were watching. Guys were always hunting for something wrong with him. How dare he? How can he forgive sins with you? But in that moment, he took her heart. She actually became some dispute, some controversy, that she may be actually his most intimate disciple. She may be the one who knew his heart best. So that she had a sister, Martha, and Jesus was preaching and came to their village. And when he came to their house, they had a house program, a Namahat program in their house. He went to speak, to give his sermon. And Mary, she came and sat at his feet. She was ready, listening, drinking every word. Martha, she's in the kitchen cooking for everyone. And she came out with her apron and flour in her hand and complaining, Jesus, look at this. Gurudev, she's sitting here hearing Harikatha, and I'm in the kitchen doing all the cooking. This isn't right. Especially because, they're ladies. Ladies supposed to do the work in the kitchen. This ain't right. He said, no, she's done right. You can always feed the poor, because there's so many people with Jesus and they're poor, and you have to feed them, take care of them. He said, you always have the poor. You don't have me all the time. These words, a chance to hear this, is so rare. Sadhu Sangha Harikatha, this is first. Gurudev always used to do that in the temple. Gurudev used to give Harikatha like 5 classes a day in Keshavji Gautamam. 5 times a day he would give Harikatha. No matter what you're doing, if you're cooking for the deities or anything, you stop and you come and sit, hear Harikatha. And if anyone wasn't there, Gurudev would come into the kitchen and find you, what are you doing? I have to cook for the offering. No, you don't. You have to hear Harikatha. Cook later. That's top priority. That's the top. So Mary, she knew his heart, and she was drinking every word. And finally she knew, because heart's so surrendered, who really gives their heart to the spiritual master, and their heart becomes clean like a mirror, we mentioned the other day. In the moonlight of Gurudev's mood and his thoughts, they shine in the heart of a pure disciple. And she was that background. She's in the back, she's just a lady in the back. There's no respect for ladies in that crowd, because there's all these renunciates up close, the 12 apostles close to Jesus, all these guys. She knew his heart, and she knew what he was going to do. She knew that for his preaching, he was going to die. And so she came and she brought a huge bottle of really, really expensive perfume, fine oil, and she broke it open. It's sealed at that time. It's not just like you can use what you want. It's like, it's a seal. It's a special thing. You have to crack it. So she cracked it and she poured it all over his feet. And with her tears, she washed his feet with her weeping. But she's thinking in her heart, she can't say out loud because he's not saying it. She can't blow his coat. She knows what's going to happen. She knows he's going to die. She knows he's going to be raised up high on the mountaintop in death to send his gospel to the whole world, to send his example of self-sacrifice and pure causeless love of God to the whole world. He's going to die. She can't say anything, just holding that inside. She knows he's going to go and she won't have him anymore, and his lotus feet are her treasure in her life. So she broke that bottle of so fine, expensive oil, and she washed those lotus feet, which are her treasure, that were about to be taken. And she wept and she washed his feet, anointed the perfume, and she undid her long hair, and she dried his feet with her hair. Such an intimate affection. And all the other disciples that were so big and important and close to him, the other preachers. What is she doing, crazy woman? We could have sold that bottle and fed so many people. We could have done so much karma with that. We could have done so much karma, we should have got so much good merits for that. Jesus was like, no, you don't understand. You always have the poor to feed, so you don't have me. She knows. She did it right. She did it. How lucky she was to do that sale. And this is where we get a little impetus at the end to finish. To remember our own call. How to treasure the lotus feet of our worshipful one. Gurudev's lotus feet. And the more that we give our life to Gurudev's lotus feet, the more that our heart is cleansed, the more that we are grateful, thinking how Gurudev called me from darkness. Not just grateful that he saved me, but that Gurudev put in my heart an ideal of love and affection that is so high and beautiful. Gurudev told me that God is not just a fearsome old man in the clouds, but that God is a divine couple in love with each other. They're ever fresh and beautiful. They're one, but they're two. And Gurudev's calling me to the most intimate secret grove, the most intimate chamber of the Lord's own abode. And there, He's calling me to take their lotus feet and serve Him eternally. So when we think of Gurudev like that, not just, oh, Gurudev saved me, but Gurudev saved me from not having such a hope in my heart, from not having such an ideal, from not knowing the name Radha, the name Krishna. Gurudev saved me from not knowing what treasure is there. And the more that we meditate with gratitude and with affection for our spiritual master, some tears will come. And in our meditation, in our heart, by prayers, we wash His lotus feet with our tears. We worship His lotus feet. And the more that we give our mind and heart there, Buddha said, if you give your mind right here at my feet, you will never suffer again. You'll never be afraid of anything. The more that we worship Buddha and give our heart and mind to Him, the more our heart will be cleansed, washed clean like a dirty mirror, Cheto Darpa the margin of the dusty mirror is washed by what? Separation from the spiritual master. When that mirror is clean, His heart. Our heart is like a little mirror. But Guru's heart is the full, brilliant, full moon, full of Bhav, full of Braj Bhav. His light shines in our heart. His moon shines in our heart. And now we're starting with Guru's lotus feet. Going along with lotus feet, going to them, and finally we'll see Radha on His lotus feet there. Raghunath Das Goswami saying, oh Devi, when I get that position, when I come to you in the early morning in your house, I will bathe you with fine waters full of flowers, crushing rose petals into juice, and bathe you with waters and massage your limbs, and dressing you in fine clothes, and worshipping all of your limbs with jewelry. I'll worship your beautiful sesame flower nose with pearl. I'll worship your beautiful ears with beautiful golden earrings. Your beautiful hair, I will dress with strands of pearls and tiny, tiny little flower buds. I'll braid your hair with them. I'll worship your beautiful arms that are like beautiful golden lotus stems that are waving in the yamuna of your flowing love for Krishna. Your whole body is full of waves of Mahabhav. Radharani's whole body is always moving. She's floating in an ocean of love for Krishna. And top to toe, all the symptoms are coming out. Tears are spilling from her eyes. I'll worship your beautiful eyes by drawing eyeliner on them. I'll worship your beautiful fingers that do Krishna's seva, that make garlands to put on His neck, that put tambul into His mouth. Your hands that serve Shri Krishna. I'll worship your hands with so many beautiful rings. I worship your wrists and arms with beautiful tinkling armlets and bracelets. Your whole form I will worship. I'll offer these gold and jewels to you who are the real treasure. And finally, at your lotus feet, I'll wash your lotus feet with Yamuna's water. I'll dry your lotus feet with my long hair opened. I'll dry. And then braid again my hair, keeping your foot bath water inside. Very intimate. Shri Guru is calling us for that. That's the mustard seed He put in our heart. We don't know what it is. What Gurudev put in our heart. What this Guru Parampara has come to give us. Tiny little thing. It starts with Shraddha. Okay, chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. What does it grow into? That mustard seed, that tiny thing, will hold the birds of these kind of thoughts and these kind of prayers. Not just that we talk about it, not just that we make it poetry, but our heart will be fluttering like a bird, fluttering with this kind of eagerness. Serve the lotus feet of Shri Radha Thakurani and Shri Krishna Chandra. So this guitar, this is unlimited, it goes on and on and on. The time doesn't.